Hello everyone, welcome to another video on my Follow channel, and this time I'll be talking a bit more about the project that I was talking about in my first video in the beginning. So I'm sure that you can probably see my screen has a lot of weird dots and dynamic things going on, but this is essentially one of the patterns we have in our audio reactive engine. Name is still TBC. I've gone around a load of different names, but this is essentially what I have at the moment. So this is a set of dots that I've got going through some kind of analyzer, which is just taking the feed raw from my Mac's microphone, and then it is turning it and manipulating it into these different dots and patterns you see here. So yeah, you can see that if I make more noise, then it kind of changes a bit more. If I clap, then it changes a bit more. So we've got different rendering or different colors being rendered depending on how loud or quiet the particular sound is. So when it's ambient, it kind of goes relatively still or relatively normal. And when it goes really loud, then it kind of amplifies it, the colors a bit more to match the increase in sound. So yes, this is the first demo. And then we have another pattern which I will show you called liquid ribbon. So this is more like a waveform. I was trying to explore more of a dynamic waveform and how I could make it in a way that looks interesting, that if you have it on a small screen it looks cool, if you have it on a big screen it looks really cool. And starts off with a waveform idea I thought was a bit boring, so I was like, a dynamic waveform that kind of moves in time with the beat would be quite interesting. So as you can see, as I'm talking and using a lot of bass in my voice, the audio is also the waveform is also reacting accordingly, following the same pattern I had before in the other one. But yeah, if I clap, then it has a bit of a delay as well to it, because I think just in general we wanted it to not be just a flat line. It wanted to have some personality to it, and so it's got a bit of an afterglow going on there. And so then the last one is the Windows Media Player Cyber Tunnel. So this one was quite funny, because I had the idea of taking some inspiration from like the Windows Media Player graphics that it used to do in its visualizer, and so I was like, okay, if we can have like some cool geometric patterns that come alive because of the music, then that would also be something cool and interesting to experience. So this one does it. It's not as interesting because you don't have the music going on, but if we had some example music, which I might try and see if I can get some for the next video, then you'll see how the patterns kind of converge. But I'll do the same clap test, and you can see how it still kind of reacts, but what it really needs is like a consistent pulse, either a beat or some beats or some kind of bass, to really amplify those patterns and really make it work. But yeah, so this is essentially what we have at the moment. And then we can pause the engine, resume the engine. So yeah, so this is what I have at the moment for my project. And yeah, looking forward to taking you guys all along with me on the journey as we develop it and scale it into more interesting, exciting pieces, and do more demos like this. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.